everyone. So this afternoon we will going to report the continuation of the linkage. But before we proceed to the main topic, let me introduce myself first. By the way, I am Ida Jane Sukal, second year college BS Ed English. And now for the information of everyone, please take down all the important details about this topic. And now let's start the discussion. The teacher education institution. So the teacher education institution have the potential to bring changes within educational system that will shape the knowledge and skills of the future generations. Under these teacher education institutions, number 1, the Philippine Association for Teacher Educations. So it is an association composed of deans, professors, instructors from the colleges of education from both private and government universities, and school head, supervisor, and cooperating teachers of government and private schools. The purpose of the Philippine Association for Teacher Educations, we have number 1, to promote and maintain unity, professionalism, and excellence among teacher educators. The second one, to raise and maintain standards of teacher education and enhance the nobility of the teaching profession through effective leadership and enlightenment fellowship. The number 3, to stimulate, support, and undertake researches, studies, and other scholarly works and innovations that will contribute to the improvement of the teacher education and disseminate new knowledge, information, and materials through publications, seminars, workshops, lectures, conferences, and other forms continuing professional education activities. And the last one, to serve as partner of Philippine government promoting national development through pre-service and in-service teacher education. In addition to the annual mid-year and assemblies for mutual collaboration and sharing of expertise, a worthwhile activity is an educational tour to Asian, American, and European universities, such as visit offer a great opportunity for members as well as non-members to observe some modern learning facilities, listen to the progressive educators, and more important, to promote friendly alliance with them. An opportunity to tour the historic and educational sites of other country afford the teacher educators a good way of enriching their intellectual, cultural, and social. The deans, professor, instructor, school head, supervisor, and cooperating teacher, they need to participate in every annual assembly for them to know the kind of learning facilities and as well as to observe educational system of other country. To State Universities and Colleges Teacher Educators Association. It includes all the state colleges of education as members. An annual convention is usually held in the different regions, bringing the deans and teacher education. So, professor together for an exchange of approaches and modes of delivering quality teacher education for the youth. So the faculty exchange program was tried wherein an expert in assessment and evaluation of learning was requested by university. A specialist in foundation courses can be borrowed. In exchange for the major subject, they specialize in an international congress or teacher education is another project worth undertaking to widen the academic reach of the nation teacher. And now let's proceed to the national organization. Under the national organization, we have the Federation of Accrediting Association of the Philippines, or the FAs, whose main function is to conduct accreditation of the educational qualification and facilities starting from the administration, curriculum, faculty profile, and learning environment, among others. Accreditation, it is the action or process of officially recognizing someone or having a particular status or being qualified to perform a particular activity. Here are the some list of accredited schools in the Philippines. We have the Adamson University, Jose Rizal University, Ateneo de Manila University, University of Cordillera, Bulacan State University, De La Salle University, Mindanao State University, and more. The Federation of Accrediting Agencies of the Philippines, through the Philippine Accrediting Association of the Schools, Colleges, and Universities, awarded an institutional accreditation to San Sebastian College, Recoletos, Manila, affirming the given by FAAP. Number one criteria, the levels of accreditation with at least level 2 status. The second one, more than 75% of the program offering should be accredited. Number 3, majority of the total population should be enrolled in the accredited programs. Second to the last one, number 4, the performance of its graduate in the licensure examination should be on par with above the national passing rate. And the last criteria given by the higher education institution should have a well internal quality assurance mechanism that include strong research and linkages, instructions, process, and community service program. And now let's proceed to the networking with foundation. Under the networking with foundation, we have letter A, the Educational Research and Development Assistance, or ERDA Foundation, has its flagship program, education mostly of the out-of-school youth. It supports programs and services in health, livelihood, and continuing education. The foundation has organized 128 children also association nationwide, and the federation is known as a National Federation of Children Association of the Philippines. It is a dynamic human development organization committed to create sustain services of for economically and socially disadvantaged children, youth, families, and communities. This foundation mostly focuses on the out-of-the-school youth. It helps the youth in their health, livelihood, and their purpose to give chance for those youth to continue their education. The foundation organized 128 children association all over the Philippines. Research and Development Assistance Foundation, closely working with the Department of Education and the Department of Social Welfare Development, and also to the other government agencies. This foundation aims to promote the total development, physical, social, and economic aspect of poor children. One of the major projects of this foundation is Balik Paaralan, or Back to School. It helped about 800,000 children and youth in their education. Its operation reaches nationwide through the tie-up with 150 organizations. The ERDA receives funding support from local and foreign donors, which individual and corporate entities, private organization, and other non-organization, as well as from some government agencies. From educational assistance, this foundation has also developed programs for the families of the beneficiaries as well as the communities. B. The Metrobank Foundation. Foundation has its flagship project in education to search for outstanding teacher. It annually recognizes and honors outstanding teachers of the three educational levels nationwide. The foundation, as part of its corporate social responsibility, honor upon the teaching profession by honoring teachers who devote their life to the development of the youth with exemplary competence and dedications. List profile of 2019 Metrobank Foundation outstanding Filipino teachers who devoted their life to the development of the youth. Western Visayan Paragon of Inclusive Education, Miss Dorothy S. Tarol, the Doctor of Philosophy. She is a Master Teacher 2, SPED Teacher, and Guidance Counselor. Special Education Integrated School for Exceptional Children in Barangay San Agustin, Iloilo City. According to her, it is a privilege to be a teacher of diverse population and a mentor who share research as synergistic activities to her colleagues. A researcher who contribute to the generation of new knowledge and a public who uses reading as a weapon. Quezon City's veteran innovator in his history instruction, Miss Cristina B. Cristobal, the Doctor of Philosophy. She is a Special Science Teacher 5, Philippine Science High School, Main Campus, Diliman City. According to Miss Cristobal, I would like to be remembered as the students' Philippine history teacher who had opened their eyes about our country history. A teacher who made them love and enjoy history. History should not be seen as a collection of facts to memorize, but a subject that connects present issues with past events. My goal is for students to understand better society, to make them more aware and involved with pursuing issues and problems of today, trademarks of good and participative citizenship. The Philippine foremost World War II historian, Mr. Ricardo T. Jose, the Doctor of Philosophy. He is a Professor 12, College of Social Sciences and Philosophy, University of the Philippines, Diliman University, Quezon City. According to him, I have learned that there is so much we can be proud of, but we are unaware or oblivious to. Awareness of this past would build a sense of pride and hopefully unity. The last one, the Philippine prime mover of genomic medicine and education, Miss Eva Maria C. Cotyong de la Paz, the Doctor of Medicine. She is a professor to College of Medicine University of Philippines, Manila, El Merita, a city of Manila. To her, genetic is not a well-known subspecialty in the medicine. A dire need for more geneticists in the country has to address. I have chosen to embrace this challenge. Being in a teaching profession has given me an excellent opportunity to teach this new emerging subspecialty of the clinical genetics and genomic in medicine in the Philippines that seek to answer the special needs of patients and families not met by any other existing specialties of medicine. Let's proceed to the letter C. The Network of Outstanding Teacher and Educators, or NOTED. It is composed all of the winners of the annual. It is an honor society. As an honor society, it is committed to nurturing a culture of excellence and service among educators through professional development, publication, research, and advocacy in active partnership with government and non-government organizations. Work of outstanding teachers and educators, it is an honor to the society composed of all the winners of the Metrobank Foundation. Search for outstanding teachers aim to serve as the conduit Filipino teacher excellence, engagement, and empowerment by providing responsive and functional excellence, drive more programs and project the teachers and educators across levels of education. So, of Metrobank Foundation are automatically members of the network Outstanding Teacher and Educators, or NOTED. Okay, let's proceed to the letter D. The Ayala Foundation. Ayala Foundation is a non-profit organization that serves as the socio-cultural development arm of the Ayala Group of companies which work through holistic response. It is likewise works to extend the benefits of recent technological development to greater number of men, women, and children. It is committed to work for cultivation of Filipino ingenuity and talent, as well as the preservation of our rich culture, history, and traditions. So, the Ayala Foundation dimension communities where people are creative, productive, self-reliant, and proud to be Filipino. Ayala Foundation helped to improve lives through programs in education, youth leadership, sustainable livelihood, and arts and culture. Their mission is to understand community realities, act as catalyst for inclusion, to bridge community and business aspiration, and build, nurture partnership with public and private groups to achieve impact, scale, and sustainability for everyone. Their project in education focuses in primary education from kindergarten up to grade 6 and seek to bridge the group between privileged and underserved students, especially in terms of access to the quality of public education. Here are some of the projects of Ayala Foundation. We have the Centex. The Centex of Excellence in Public Elementary Education provide holistic, quality education for bright children from economically disadvantaged families, owning their confidence and competencies not just inside the classroom but also through after the learning in performing arts and other skill building activities. And one of their projects is the Pro Future. It is a uses of digital technology provide access to quality, transformation, and universal education, and through it access the equal opportunities for boys and girls in more inclusive and global society. And now, the letter E, GMA Foundation. GMA Foundation has for its mission to give hope and future to Filipino family by safeguarding human rights and upgrading standard of education. The purpose of the GMA Foundation to uplift the life and unprivileged Filipinos all over the Philippines by providing quick response, relief operation to fulfill the most immediate needs in times of crisis under taking health, nutrition, and medical to promote greater equity in health, carrying out developmental program designed to promote education and foster learning. So the GMA Foundation, as we all know that they help every Filipino who in need. We all know that GMA Foundation has a bigger contribution to the life of many Filipinos. GMA Foundation not only to give hope for many Filipinos, but it also implements some programs that promote literacy and education, or donate a book and merit scholarship. GMA Foundation scholarship will help some of the youth to continue their education. So now let's proceed to the letter F. The SM Foundation. SM Foundation launched a yearly project which collects book and educational materials from public and donates them to public schools and community libraries. Education Literacy Tribe aims to collect more book donations from business donors and distribute them to public schools and community libraries nationwide. SM Group of companies regularly launch their project every year, which is to collect books and learning materials so that they will distribute it to the public schools. It is the biggest blessings to all the public schools to receive free um, free books and learning materials from SM Foundation.
A pleasant day, everyone. My name is Hazera Silvestre, second year college student and BS Ed major in English. So today we're going to discuss the continuation of the networking with foundations. Foundation for Upgrading Standard in Education, or FUSE. So it supports training program for teachers of English, science, and mathematics. What is the principal goal of FUSE? So the principal goal of FUSE is to help strengthen through training programs, teaching effectiveness, especially in English, math, and science. So under the FUSE, we have the CONSTEL, or Continuing Study via Television. So what is CONSTEL? So CONSTEL is a latest multimedia approach to help teachers more effective in teaching their perspective subject areas, especially in English, science, and math. So, CONSTEL project consists 40 episodes in physics to assist non-physics majors, and it is offered through government television channels. Its programs include regular teacher training workshop, a postgraduate scholarship program for science and engineering teachers, production and distribution of telecourse in English, elementary science, chemistry, physics, and math, and it is also a host of other educational programs in partnership with government and private learning institutions. Next is the Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology, or the PFST. The PFST was founded to promote science and technology among the youth. Its vision of establishing a science culture leading to a productive Filipino citizenry. So when we say citizenry, it's a group of citizens. So it's being realized primarily through its flagship program, which is the Philippine Science Centrum. So Philippine Science Centrum, located at Riverbanks, Marikina, Metro Manila. So it is a kind of interactive science museum and an ideal destination for children and adults who want to play, see, touch, twist, or hear anything about science while having fun. about 300,000 visitors who have been accommodated by that centrum. Next, Books for the Barrio and Asia Foundation. So, they donate books and other printed materials to public and private elementary and secondary schools. So, next, the Bato Balani Foundation Inc. or the BBFI. So, BBFI, it's focused in the area of education where Bato Balani provides such programs as teacher training, school administration, management development, and etc. Next is the Philippines Business for Education or the BPED. So BPED is a non-profit organization and they have 4 purposes in the book. So I'm gonna read it. So number 1, to nurture consensus on key direction in education, reform, and to initiate and lead the actions towards those directions. So number 2, to identify best opportunities for pursuing strategic actions that can most effectively direct, accelerate, broaden, or sustain education. Number 3, to inform consideration of such strategic actions with the best available knowledge and information. And number 4, to mobilize commitment in support of consensus on the specific nature of desired strategic action. So, in general, their goals is for Filipinos to have access to an education system which provides the needed competencies and values to lead productive line and successful careers while serving as a good citizen of this nation. So, okay, let's move on. Let's go to the networking with government offices. So first, the LCC or the Literacy Coordinating Council. So the LCC, it is under the DepEd who trains trainers who handle literacy training courses among the youth. And so next is the Department of Science and Technology or the DOST. So the DOST, they help or support undergraduate and graduate scholarship programs in science and math in regional science teaching centers, which were selected centers of excellence by the technical panel for teacher edu, which is under the CHED. So next, the Commission on Higher Education or the CHED. So first, let's talk about what is the meaning of CHED. So CHED is a governing body covering the both public and private higher education as well as degree granting programs in all tertiary educational. So CHED, they organize technical panels for all professionals, selecting institutions as centers of excellence in their chosen course. They organize technical panels for all professionals, selecting institutions as centers of excellence in their chosen course. Last, under the networking with government offices, which is the TEC or the Teacher Education Council. So, it is under the DepEd that focuses its program on teacher education policies and standards. So, this is the link between the CHED and DepEd. So, next, let's go to the networking with media. So, first, broadcast, ABS-CBN and GMA Foundation provide assistance to school children and teachers through their educational broadcasts, donation of instructional materials and school buildings, and conducting interviews of achievers in various professionals. So, networking with ABS-CBN and GMA Foundation, through educational broadcasts, it provides assistance and guidance both to the students and teachers. So next, the government and private channels. So it includes award-winning entries to national competitions in the field of education, sports, and healthcare. Historic and cultural events. So Brought to all homes promotes the spirit of nationalism and pride. So, for example, the Siniskwela Bayani. Publication and prints. Its publication through daily newspapers, magazine, and other reading materials are rich sources of information for purposes. Important events like international and local are also featured for future references. So last, the projected materials. Education films and projected documentaries widen children's knowledge and outlook for growth and development. Videotapes on the overview of the K-12 curriculum are likewise available. So these projected materials, it could be a motion pictures, overhead projection, and many more. So the use of it is that it will help the teachers to simplify and clarify the relationships. So all in all, the linkages and networking with organization establish a very good communication and partnership with others and to those people who deserves that with mutual interest. So that's all. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you gain some knowledge from me and